You already know this fellow's name. He's age 39. Was admitted to hospital at the age of 9 when he had septicemia. He was diagnosed with bipolar at the age of 24, and he's been administered to by a Mexican healer when he was driving erratically. After the remote work with the healer, he stopped driving. Since then, I've been progressively, slowly getting better. His sister did a journey on him and found his child self in a cave with his spirit animal, white Bengal tiger. That's really all the information we have on him. So, what does Chen give you?
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just connect, basically. So I'm just connecting to an image that I see in my mind of a male, and as I connect, I'm immediately presented with two other energies that are with him that I can see, both of which are negative and are trying to block the connection. So I'm just going to ask Chen to remove what they're trying to do. So when I try and connect to them, normally I can connect immediately and I can see their energy and start to look into their auric field and that kind of thing. But in this case, obviously I've been blocked from doing that, so I'm still not yet connected. So I'm just waiting for Chen to do that, which he's done now. Okay, so he's basically opened a path to his energetic field that I can now connect to. So I'm connecting to, okay, so I can see basically like a sort of small child of say 3 or 4 years old, sort of curled in a ball basically, with these two energies that have been controlling and attached to him. And looking through his auric field, the way that I would normally see it, I would normally expect to see it quite clear of other things. And I'm being presented with a whole kind of raft of almost things like barbed wire sort of wrapped around him, so a lot of auric containment in a way. And in the middle of that is this small energy of this small child that's kind of carrying down and looking quite frightened. So I've just asked Chen to disconnect these two negative entities that are connected to him, which he's doing with his team. I'm just going to start to remove, so I'm going to unwind the wire that I can see. And then I tend to split the image of the person in half, almost like a door, and open it both sides so I can look right through the middle and see both sides. So I'm just doing that now. You can see again there's a whole load of controlling apparatus that have been connected to his auric field. So there's all sorts of things connected into the normal places really, like his eyes, his nose, his ears. So I'd expect him not to be able to hear the things that people say to him. So the information that he would hear would be manipulated. And the things that he sees won't be the real things that he sees. That will be manipulated information as well. So I've just asked Chen and his team to clear all of this from his auric field. And I'm going to connect. I'm going to try and now connect into that small child basically and just have a conversation with him. So I'm just explaining to him that we've come to help, and his sister's asked that we do this so that we have a level of permission there. I'm just asking him to basically stand up and to shake himself off. So he's dictating to me that he's been waiting a long time for this or for some type of help. And he's acknowledging or indicating that he's calling them, he sees them as like ET energies, and he's saying that they come for him at night. So he's indicating that he's had some sort of ET possession, if you like, or some sort of connection with ET energies. So while that's happening, I'm just going to talk to Chen and just check that that is Chen's opinion as well. Okay, yeah, so Chen's agreeing, not quite in the same way, but saying that he has had ET involvement, and there has been some type of ET possession, really. So Chen's sort of saying that he's actually a very psychic guy, or would be very psychic and very connected, and his kind of like psychic ability and spiritual energy has been hijacked and obviously used for negative reasons as opposed to positive reasons. So Chen's also saying when he was very young, he was able to see not just spirit but other energies and would connect to them and talk to them, and unfortunately ended up giving his permission to the wrong types of energies that allowed them to connect into his auric field, and from that day onwards he's kind of been in and out of this type of possession. So Chen's saying actually he would be like a really good healer. He has very like psychically connected energy, and also he can traverse a lot of healing energy through his actual hands and through his body. So Chen's saying part of the reason that he's saying corrupted was because he would have actually been like really good as a kind of spiritual healer come sort of psychic. So Chen's now just explaining to me, saying that now, well, it'll be another 30 minutes of our time before they finish, but he's saying once they've finished, he will be back to being sort of a sovereign individual. Chen's just suggesting that when you speak to the sister, you explain that he's still psychically quite open and needs to be quite guarded about anything that he talks to from a spiritual perspective, because he's obviously still got that psychic opening within him, and he'll need to just close himself down. So again, like the same things that we normally discuss, like sort of placing sea salt around the bed, putting sea salt around the house, and maybe visualising himself as like a closed energy, sort of closed and protected with like a golden light. So I guess his sister will be able to sort of indicate or talk him through some of these techniques just to make sure that his own protection's in place.
Well, we have recorded lessons on self-protection, haven't we? So
yeah,
it will be helpful for him to learn those.
To the news. But other than that, Chen's suggested now that obviously he's going to need to sort of come forward, because he's been this kind of like frightened child, really, from a kind of from a kind of like etheric perspective, and he almost now need to sort of go through growing up again. So he's been hiding and sort of afraid of the whole world in a way. So Chen's saying, you know, he'll need sort of kid gloves to sort of bring him forward and turn him back into the person that he was supposed to be.
This sounds like a familiar story.
Sounds like the normal story that we discussed earlier, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, same thing. Okay, so I think we're done from my perspective.
Okay, well thanks to you and to Chen.